Well, ladies and gentlemen, we've got more very key supercritical updates when it comes to the 2024 election. We've got Kamala Harris with all of this momentum. Can't even fill a high school gym. You know what? This actually might be like a preschool gym. This is really bad. It's very small. You can see it says she cannot fill a gym in Philadelphia. And take a look at this. This is at one of her rallies. One of our rallies, you see the entire gym. Remember, Trump is like having to go outside because there's like 25,000 people that want to go to these things. It's disgusting. They can't even fill the entire thing. I think they're going to have to start paying people to go to these Kamala rallies. Their entire campaign is fake. Why not just fake the rallies as well? Give the people like $10 and maybe a free booster shot or something, and that'll convince them to go. But no, she's the one that's got all the momentum. Remember, they're saying she's up in all the polls now. They're rejuvenated. This is so hilarious. The American people are not this stupid. A week and a half ago, we all knew she was a horrible VP. But now, suddenly, we've all had, I guess, a kumbaya moment. And she's going to be this great president. Don't buy it, guys. It's all MSM hype. And it is ridiculous when it comes to that. We've also got some other stuff. Oh, yeah, there's just some weird fake things with Kamala Harris and her campaign. And, like, I guess I'll react to some of this. I mean, I'm a white guy. I'm a ginger, and we have been discriminated against, the gingers have, but let's just see what they have to say here when it comes to the white dudes for Trump, and I'll give my reaction, I guess.
I'm for Harris.
Over the last few years, I've been thinking a lot about men.
I'm not sure if you guys can recall that feeling you had on the night of Tuesday.
When I had my first burger?
2016. I stood over my kid's bed, and I wept.
White nationalists in MAGA, they want to speak for you specifically as white men.
In the marginalized communities that educate me.
So a black dude saying to a white guy that other white people want to speak to you. This is like the third level at this point when it comes to these race relations.
Every single day. That this is a constant education for all of us.
Kamala is carrying on her shoulders 248 years of pain, of agony, of hope, of frustration. And no matter how high she jumps, no matter how many degrees she has, no matter
no, he's right. Kamala has been, oh my God, I feel so bad for her. No matter how many delegates she wins democratically. Oh wait, the number's 0. Sorry. No, I'm sorry. I'm sorry about that. You're right. She's done everything to be president. No matter how many degrees, no matter how many dudes she puts in jail for marijuana, no matter how many delegates. Oh wait, she won 0 delegates. I'm sorry. I was about that.
How good her grades are. She's never good enough because they're always moving the line.
What a variety of whiteness we have here. With like a rainbow of beige.
But man, I am scared to death of what the future could look like if we go back.
They're trying to raise money right here. They're trying to raise this money to bribe people to go to these rallies because it's so bad. They can't even. I think they're talking about going to like. They're like, all right, let's try and make it look full. So we need to have a rally at an outdoor play area at a preschool. That's what they were saying, apparently.
Back to another Trump administration, one that truly left working construction white men behind.
And we certainly need to go back to Trump. I was saying this in my stream. There's a legitimate concern about World War III with Kamala Harris, or really any Democrat. Kamala Harris is just the figurehead, whatever. They've got total control over her. Actually, way more control over her than they did Biden, because she's got no leverage or no leg to stand on. They elevated her. At least Biden won his primary, although they technically also elevated him when they forced everyone else to drop out so they could beat Bernie. But at least Biden served, he was the VP for Obama for 8 years, is more likable within that party. He's been a politician for 50 years. Harris has no leg to stand on. So when it comes to, this is why we're worried about World War III, and this is why we have to somehow save this and convince these white women that you need to vote for Trump. Kamala Harris, or just the Democratic Party in general, they do not want to negotiate with Russia. The issue is if Russia mounts a big offensive, or even if there's just still a war going on there, and then you get the China-Taiwan situation, now you've got 2 potential hot wars going on if China does invade Taiwan, even though that would be very hard for them to do because Taiwan's like a booby-trapped island. But if both of those things are happening, now you've got 2 major adversaries at war with smaller countries, Russia against Ukraine, China against Taiwan. That's the big issue. That's why Zelensky it was smart for him to call Trump and be like, you're going to save us all. You're going to create peace. I want to work with you. And now Zelensky's saying, I'm willing to do peace. Russia is a little bit more, I don't know what Russia's going to want, but Putin has also had a good relationship with Trump. That's why they got triggered and called him a Russian agent, because Trump, he's got all this peace. So he's right. We are going to have World War III with Harris. So he's right on that. And then we do have another updated forecast. This is, I believe, Nate Silver's first forecast since the switch to Harris. Trump sitting at a 61% chance. Coincides exactly with what Polymarket thinks, with Republicans at a 61% chance. And a popular vote basically being a complete toss-up. It did switch from Trump, who was beating Biden in terms of potential to win the popular vote. Now Harris at around a 53% chance still. That is very, very good news for Trump at around 280 electoral votes. I think Trump easily will surpass 300 against Harris. But right now, you've got all the fake hype. We understand it. Once that dies down, you can see the Republicans are weird narrative was planned. And this just goes through all the people, all the mainstream media talking about this whole idea of Republicans being weird. And I just don't understand this coming from the same people. Their entire identity. I mean, you've got people with like 30 different pronouns saying it's not weird and you need to respect us and we're all different in our own way. Like, we can't call that weird, but then they randomly called Trump and Vance weird. I thought they were the ones that wanted people to stop calling others weird, because they've got, we believe in all the genders, we believe in all the sex changes, everything like that. So they're contradicting themselves, and if we're allowed to call them weird now, I guess that's all right. This just doesn't make any sense. This is not a coherent political argument, calling people weird. I don't understand. Personally, I just don't understand how something like that convinces an independent person to vote with them. You've also got the FBI director admitting there was never a doubt that Trump got hit by a bullet. But no, guys, now Reddit has told me that it was, I mean, many of these people still believe it was staged and that Trump sacrificed one of his supporters on purpose. That's what Reddit believes. It's totally understandable. And this is why they've lost the moral high ground. And remember, right after the assassination attempt, and we know yesterday they're all deleting, they're trying to erase it because it makes Trump look really good. Remember when they all threw hissy fits and they were basically acting like 5-year-olds? They didn't know how to control their emotions. Well, the reason for that is because they have lost the moral high ground. It's like they always talk about January 6th, January 6th. Look, they threatened Mike Pence. Look at what happened to Paul Pelosi, the horror. What happened to Trump was 100 times worse or could have been 100 times worse. He was nearly killed, but then their reactions made it 100 times worse because they said, and this is a common belief within Democrats, they said they're happy there was an attempt because now there's going to be copycats, and there were millions, I would imagine, within the Democratic Party that felt that way, considering the rhetoric, what's going on. And you see how they're trying to twist it now? Now they're saying it's come out that, oh my God, Crooks was this crazy liberal. Well, we've got Crook's classmates saying he was obsessed with wearing a mask. He wore a mask 2 years after, or like a year after the pandemic was over. Not only that, you've got Gab saying we've got these messages. They're paragraphs defending the honor of the Democrats and Joe Biden, and it's all these Reddit talking points. This kid was far left. He was a leftist, and he got brainwashed probably by the media, and then also probably behind the scenes as well, to be kind of a patsy. And so, yes, I don't understand. What do liberals think's going to happen when you continue to call, the political enemy the next Hitler, and you're Rachel Maddow literally telling people that Trump is going to put me, meaning Rachel Maddow, into a camp. And The View said it as well. Trump was going to put all of them in camps. So, of course, one of their crazy far left liberals is going to react that way and do something really, really bad. Now they're trying to cover it up and saying, oh, it was a Republican, which of course makes no sense. It's total gaslighting. And there it is. Oh, Trump got hit by a bullet. No, it was shrapnel. It wasn't a bullet, even though we couldn't see any of the glass shatter anywhere. It makes perfect sense. But they're trying to minimize the assassination attempt as much as possible, to the point where you can't even search it on Google. They've removed the images. Facebook got caught yesterday when Republicans were trying to share the image saying it was altered, it was fake, where Trump puts his fist up, and then they said, no, we're sorry, that was an error. Notice how how many times has Facebook said something's an error when it's just pure censorship against conservatives? Like, at this point, it's just like, do you think we're dumb? This is so stupid. But that is where we're at in terms of that. So guys, either way, that is going to do it for this video. Make sure you follow me on X. Link to that's always in the description.